All right, picture this. I'm standing in the aisle of Horizon Air Flight 237, headed from Chicago to Miami, clutching a boarding pass that's already a little worse for wear from the chaos of O'Hare's security line. My name's Marcus Tate, and I'm just trying to get home after a brutal week of meetings, my brain fried from pitching to investors who keep looking at me like I'm some kind of Animalia black guy in a hoodie running a tech empire. Seat 1B, first class, window side, that's mine, clear as day on the crumpled paper in my hand. But there's this woman, Evelyn Harper, sprawled out in my seat like she owns the plane, her designer sunglasses perched on her head, scrolling through her phone like I'm not even there. "Excuse me, ma'am," I say, keeping my voice steady, friendly even. "I think you're in my seat." She doesn't look up at first, just keeps swiping through what looks like yacht listings, her manicured nails clicking against the screen. When she finally glances my way, her eyes do this quick scan head to toe, like she's sizing up whether I belong in first class or the baggage hold. "Oh, honey," she says, her voice all syrupy condescension. "There must be some mix-up. I always book this seat. Why don't you check with the flight attendant? I'm sure they'll find you." Something else. I feel that familiar heat in my chest, the kind that comes from years of being underestimated, overlooked, or flat-out dismissed. I'm in my early 30s, built a company Nextlify Tech that's reshaping how airlines operate. But to her, I'm just some guy in sneakers and a hoodie who clearly doesn't fit in her version of first class. I take a deep breath, hold up my boarding pass. "Ma'am, this says 1B. That's this seat. Could you check yours?" Her lips purse, and she gives me this look like I'm the one being unreasonable. "I'm a Horizon Elite member," she says, like it's a royal title. "I specifically requested this window seat. I'm sure you understand how these things work." "Oh, I understand plenty. I've been in boardrooms where I'm the only black face, pitching to people who assume I'm the assistant until I start talking numbers. I've heard every coded word in the book articulate, urban, not a cultural fit. And now, here's Evelyn, tossing out how these things work, like it's my job to nod and shuffle off." The other passengers are starting to notice, heads turning, some pretending to read their magazines while stealing glances. I catch the eye of a young woman a few rows back, her phone angled just enough that I know she's recording. "Good. Let her." "Ma'am," I say, my voice still calm but firmer now, "I don't care about your status. This is my seat. I'd appreciate it if you'd move." Her laugh is sharp, like a blade. "Sweetheart, let's not make a scene. First class isn't, well, you know, for everyone." The words hit like a gut punch, but I've heard worse. I'm about to respond when she leans forward, her voice dropping to this fake reasonable tone. "Look, I've got a big meeting in Miami. Harper Realty. Maybe you've heard of us? We close multi-million-dollar deals. I need this seat for the view. Helps me think. I'm sure the crew can find you something suitable." Suitable. There it is again, that word that's not about seats, but about who she thinks I am. I'm tired, bone tired from 3 days of proving myself to investors who'd rather bet on a mediocre white guy than a black man with a track record. My watch, a sleek Audemars Piguet I bought after Nextlify's IPO, is hidden under my sleeve, but it's ticking away, reminding me I've got bigger things to deal with than this. My phone buzzes, probably my assistant, Lena, wondering why I'm not settled yet. I glance at it, a text that says, "Board meeting pushed to 3 p.m. You good?" "No, Lena, I'm not good." By now, the aisle's getting crowded, passengers craning their necks, the air thick with that awkward tension when everyone knows something's about to go down. Evelyn presses the call button, and a flight attendant, Lila, her name tag says, hurries over, her smile practiced but tense. "Hi, folks, what's the issue?" she asks, her eyes flicking between us. Evelyn jumps in before I can open my mouth. "Oh, thank goodness you're here. I'm Evelyn Harper, Horizon Elite for over a decade. There's been some error with the seating, and this gentleman is insisting I move from my seat." Lila glances at my boarding pass, then at Evelyn, who's now clutching her Louis Vuitton bag like it's a shield. "Sir," Lila says, her tone polite but cautious. "Can I see your boarding pass?" I hand it over, and she frowns, checking the seat number above Evelyn's head. "Well, Mr. Tate, it does look like 1B is yours, but Ms. Harper is a valued customer, and she's already settled. We've got a great aisle seat and 2 extra legroom. I can make sure you get priority service to make up for the inconvenience." The inconvenience. That's what they call it when someone takes what's yours and you're expected to smile and take the scraps. I feel my jaw tighten, but I keep my voice even. "Lila, the inconvenience is that someone's in my seat, and you're asking me to move instead of her." "Why's that?" Evelyn cuts in, her voice dripping with fake sympathy. "Oh, come on, let's be reasonable. I'm sure you're not trying to cause a fuss. Maybe you got a deal on this ticket or something, but I paid full price for this seat." That's when I feel a line she just crossed. She's not just stealing my seat. She's questioning my right to be here, like I snuck into first class on some discount code or charity ticket. I look around, and the young woman with the phone, her name's Mia. I find out Ladder is still filming, her viewer count climbing. Across the aisle, an older guy, maybe in his 60s, shakes his head, muttering something about entitlement. I lock eyes with him for a second, and he gives me a nod, like he's been here before. "Lila," I say, turning back to the flight attendant, "get the captain." I'm not moving, and neither is this plane until this is sorted. Evelyn laughs again, but it's nervous now. "Oh, please, you're holding up everyone. This is ridiculous." Lila hesitates, then scurries toward the cockpit. The cabin's buzzing now, passengers whispering, some pulling out their phones. Mia's live stream is probably blowing up, and I can feel the weight of every eye on me. When Captain Daniels shows up, he's all business gray hair, weathered face, the kind of guy who's seen it all. "Mr. Tate, Ms. Harper," he says, glancing at my boarding pass, then at Evelyn. "Let's resolve this quickly so we can get in the air." Evelyn launches into her spiel again, name-dropping her real estate empire, her Horizon elite status, how she's flown this route 1,000,000 times. I cut her off. "Captain, my boarding pass says 1B. She doesn't have one for this seat. Why are we even debating this?" Daniel shifts, clearly uncomfortable. "Mr. Tate, I see your point, but Ms. Harper's a long-time customer. We can move you to another first-class seat, same amenities, no trouble." I feel that heat again, but now it's cold, focused. No trouble for who? For her, because she's used to getting her way? Or for you, because it's easier to make me move than deal with her? That's when Mia speaks up from her seat, her voice clear and sharp. "Excuse me, Captain, but I'm live streaming this, and my viewers 3,000 and counting want to know why Horizon Air's letting a white woman steal a black man's seat and acting like it's his fault." The cabin goes dead silent. Evelyn's face flushes red. "You're recording me? That's illegal." Mia shrugs. "Public space, lady. And my followers are calling this Horizon hustle. It's trending." Evelyn sputters. "This is not about race. I'm just trying to keep my seat." But then she slips, and it's a doozy. "You people always make everything about race, don't you?" The words land like a bomb. A woman in row 3 gasps, and the older guy across the aisle mutters, "Here we go." I feel my heart rate spike, but I keep my cool. "You people," I repeat, letting the words hang. "Care to clarify who you mean by that, Miss Harper?" Before she can answer, Captain Daniels tries to de-escalate. "All right, let's all calm down. Mr. Tate, I'm sure we can." I cut him off, pulling out my phone. "Captain, I'm done talking. You're going to want to listen to this." I open an app, Nextlify's executive dashboard, the one I built to control every aspect of Horizon Air's operations. I hover my finger over a button labeled Flight Override, CEO Directive. "This," I say, loud enough for the whole cabin to hear, "is what happens when you push the wrong person too far." I tap the button. A second later, the captain's radio crackles. "Flight 237, this is Tower. We're showing a CEO override. Return to gate B12 immediately. Daniel stares at his radio, then at me, like he's seeing a ghost. What? What did you just do? Evelyn's voice is shrill now. You can't do that. Who do you think you are? I slip my phone back into my pocket, look her dead in the eye. Marcus Tate, CEO of Nextlify Tech. I own 70% of this airline. That means I don't just have a seat on this plane, I own the damn plane. The cabin erupts. Passengers are whispering. Phones are out. Mia's live stream is probably breaking the internet. Evelyn's mouth opens, but nothing comes out. Captain Daniels looks like he's aged 10 years in 10 seconds. Lila's frozen, her customer service smile gone. As the plane starts taxiing back to the gate, I can see Evelyn's world crumbling, her designer bags, her elite status, all useless now. We pull up to the gate, and it's chaos outside. Airport security's holding back a crowd, reporters, airline execs, curious passengers. Lena's there, my assistant, practically sprinting toward me as I step off the plane. Marcus, what the hell's going on? She says, waving her tablet. Twitter's losing it. Horizon hustles at 1 million views. CNN's calling. I glance back at Evelyn, who's slinking off the plane, her sunglasses hiding her eyes, but not her shame. A woman in a sharp suit approaches Claire and Gwynn, Horizon's VP of Operations. Mr. Tate, we're so sorry, she starts, but I cut her off. Claire, save the apology. I want Daniels and Lila suspended, effective now. I want a full report on every discrimination complaint Horizon's gotten in the last 5 years. And I want mandatory bias training rolled out in 60 days. Her jaw drops. Sir, that's not how it is now, I say. I own this airline. You work for me. Mia's still filming, her viewer count hitting 50,000. A reporter, Sophia Rivera from the Chicago Tribune, pushes through the crowd. Mr. Tate, you just grounded a flight over a seat dispute. What's your next move? I look at her, then at the cameras, the passengers, the execs who thought they could bury this. This wasn't about a seat, I say. This was about a system that lets people like Evelyn Harper think they can take what's not theirs because of who they think I am. Nextlify's software runs 80% of U.S. airlines. Starting today, every discrimination complaint gets escalated, tracked, and made public. No more sweeping this under the rug. The crowd's buzzing now, phones recording every word. Lena whispers, Marcus, Delta, and United are freaking out. They're begging for meetings. I nod. Good. If they want to keep using our software, they'll play by my rules. Sophia is scribbling notes. You're talking about changing an entire industry. Are you ready for the backlash? I smiled just a little. Sophia, I've been dealing with backlash my whole life. This is just Tuesday. Fast forward 2 years, and I'm back on flight 237, same seat, 1B. The airline's different now, new staff, new policies. Lila's not just a flight attendant anymore. She's leading Horizon's inclusion team, making sure no one else gets asked to be flexible for all the wrong reasons. Mia's video sparked a movement. Travel with Dignity's a global hashtag now. My phone's buzzing with updates. Nextlify's bias tracking system caught 300 potential incidents last week alone, and airlines are actually acting on them. The UN's even talking about making our model a global standard. As we take off, I overhear a kid across the aisle, maybe 10, asking her mom, "Why do the screens say travel with dignity?" Her mom smiles. "It means we're all equal up here, sweetheart. No one can make us feel less than." I lean back, staring out at the clouds, thinking about that day 2 years ago when I just wanted to sit in my seat. I didn't set out to start a revolution, but sometimes all it takes is one person saying, enough. So what about you? Have you ever been in a spot where you had to stand your ground, knowing it'd cost you? Maybe you've seen someone treated like they didn't belong in a plane, at work, anywhere. Drop your story in the comments. Let's talk about what's right, what's wrong, and how we fix it. If you believe dignity's not negotiable, hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe. Because this fight It's not over. It's on all of us to keep it going.